These Malian recruits are preparing for a military exercise. About 1,000 soldiers are being trained as part of a mission to make the Malian army more professional. Some 20 countries are part of the European Union training mission in Mali. France has the largest contingent. In this exercise, British, French, and German trainers have created a scenario that is as realistic as possible.
The point of this session is to tackle a camp of jihadis who are planning an attack on Koulikoro.
The Malian army is still short of almost everything: logistics, transmissions, and even officers. Mali was long considered to be a model of democracy in Africa. But a coup d'etat almost 2 years ago plunged the country into turmoil. The UN's MINUSMA mission was established last year to carry out a series of security-related stabilization tasks. Although UN resolutions provide for around 12,000 soldiers, the force currently has only half of that. The head of the mission has called for help.
We need support for the génie, for the engineering. We need support in terms of the so-called enablers, medical support for our troops. And that remains important. So I think I would call on all member states to continue to support us in this.
Germany's role is largely logistical. Bundeswehr Transalls have been deployed to transport soldiers and equipment in Mali. The transport often happens under extreme conditions.
The high temperatures are also a factor with regard to the aircraft's performance. Precise calculations have to be made about what loads can be transported for what distance, at what temperature. Some flights can only take place in the morning when it's still relatively cool.
The planes can carry 80 people or 10 tons of material. The pilots are particularly well trained, as they have to be able to land almost anywhere.
The challenges in terms of flying are most definitely landing on dirt runways, as well as the challenges with the environment and the temperatures. In northern Mali, we fly onto gravel runways, and you need to use a particular maneuver to land.
The first November round of parliamentary elections took place largely peacefully. A second round is scheduled for mid-December. The German ambassador is aware of the importance of stability, especially as many Malian refugees have sought asylum in Germany.
We have to be aware of the fact that Africans are our neighbors in Europe. That's also true of Mali. Security and development in Mali directly affect our interests.
It's unclear how long German troops will remain in Mali and how long the international mission will be in place. The aim is to hand over responsibility to the Malian army as soon as possible.
We're going to gradually train Malian trainers who will come to us to form battalions, both in Koulikoro during the centralized phase, as well as in the garrisons during the decentralized phase. They will progressively take on the role of the European contingent, which will contribute to the exit strategy.
But until then, intensive training will continue. Troops still have to learn the basics, such as how to evaluate a situation, secure a bridge, or search for explosives.
We've learned a lot from the Germans. As you can see, today in the exercise we were told that 70 meters of the bridge are mined. My men are checking to see if there are any cables or explosives on the road.
Apart from the necessary training, what's also missing in the Malian army is equipment. And the communication structures are not up to scratch either.
Communication in the sense of superiors giving information to the soldiers and troops reporting back, so superiors know what's going on and they can make the right decisions.
It's generally accepted that the Malian army is currently not in a position to deal with armed rebels. But the EU trainers are optimistic about the future.
2 battle groups are currently through with their training. 2 more will follow. But I have to say that after their basic training, we've managed to create a group of people who believe in themselves and who will hopefully carry out their mission in the north.
They will soon be put to the test. Tuareg rebels in the north have just announced their intentions to go back to war with the Malian army, just 6 months after signing a ceasefire.